Have you ever felt like the woman next to you is trying to say something, but not with words? A glance held a fraction longer, her body tilting toward you, then suddenly, coldness, distance, as though you ruined something without knowing what. This isn't magic, it's body language, and if you don't read it, you're playing blind. Most men focus on the words and miss what's most important. Women communicate far more with their bodies than with their mouths. And that's where things fall apart. You can be smart, well-groomed, confident. But if you didn't catch the signal when she was waiting for your move, you'll come off as either insecure or pushy. In both cases, you lose. Imagine she laughs at your jokes, plays with her hair, leans in, but you don't react because you're afraid to misstep. Or conversely, you make a move when she's already internally checked out. This isn't luck, it's a skill, and today we'll talk about it. You'll learn how to read a woman's body language, how to understand her love language, and why human behavior is not chaos but a system of signals that can be learned. Also, what mistakes men make even when they know all this. In this episode, we'll examine real situations, simple psychology, and open your eyes to what you may have ignored your whole life. Sergey, 38, works in IT. Not a failure by any means. He has a stable job, decent income, a clean-cut look. But when it comes to women, the same story keeps repeating itself. He meets a woman. Everything seems fine. A little flirting begins. She smiles, laughs at his jokes, maybe even finds reasons to touch him. Sergey feels something there. He makes a move, and she suddenly pulls away. She answers less, distances herself, loses interest. Sergey is puzzled. Things were going well. What went wrong? He begins to wonder. Maybe he said the wrong thing. Was he too forward, or maybe too reserved? And the cycle repeats. Women leave, and he's left asking, what exactly am I missing? One evening at dinner, he mentions this to a friend, a guy who's been married a long time. A man, they say, has been through fire, water, and copper pipes. This friend says something Sergey never forgets. You're not listening to what she's not saying. At first, Sergey doesn't get it. Then he starts noticing the small signals. On a first date with someone new, he sees she's not just looking at him. She plays with her hair, laughs a little longer, sits tilted toward him, open posture, leaning in. Then when he starts telling a story where he heavily praises himself, she crosses her arms and looks away. It seems small, but in that moment she closes up. It hits Sergey. The body is speaking louder than the mouth. The problem was not his words, but his reading of her reaction. He was focused on himself. To impress, not to mess up, to be interesting. What he needed was to notice what she feels and how her body shows it. And that's where the disconnect started. He didn't feel the moment when closeness was welcome. He either hesitated too much or rushed in too fast. Meanwhile, she already had a subconscious impression. He doesn't read me. He doesn't feel me. And that destroyed all the chemistry. The essence of Sergey's mistake wasn't that he didn't try. It was that he didn't understand how female perception works. To men, it seems logical. If she laughs, asks questions, and shows up for a date, she's interested. Logically, yes. From a masculine point of view, yes. But female psychology and body language work differently. For women, feelings and attraction are shaped through emotional signals, not through facts, not through words, but through the sensations she receives when she's with a man. And body language is one of the main ways she conveys those sensations. The problem is that most men don't notice these signals or misinterpret them. As a result, they either miss the moment or act when they shouldn't. Here's an example. She sits across from you. Her eyes are on you, her pupils slightly dilated. She slowly plays with a glass, often adjusts her hair. Her body is turned toward you, and she leans in a bit when you speak. All of this, signals of interest and openness. It's like a green light at an intersection. You may proceed. But if you ignore it, start talking about yourself, don't ask questions, don't build emotional contact, that green can turn red quickly. Now the opposite. You begin to talk too much, become too assertive. She crosses her arms, leans back, stops making eye contact, smiles less. Those are signals of closeness, discomfort, or loss of interest. But if you continue as though nothing's happening, you're not just missing her boundaries. You're scaring or irritating her without realizing it. Understanding body language is not a trick, not manipulation. It's a skill of conscious observation. A woman may smile at you, but if her body is tense, arms crossed, gaze avoiding you, she might just be being polite, not genuinely interested. Or she might be interested, but doesn't feel safe or confident. Your task is to sense that and respond respectfully, without pressure. That's exactly what Sergei realized. He started practicing mindful presence. When he was with a woman, his focus shifted from looking interesting to being present. He watched how she sat, how she breathed, where her gaze went, how she responded to his words. And one day, in a cafe on a third date, he felt the moment. She leaned forward, spoke softly, her eyes were vibrant. He made a move, a light compliment, a gentle touch, and instead of her withdrawing, she smiled truly. That was the turning point. Reading body language at emotional dynamics is a superpower. Once you begin seeing those signals, you already play on a different level. But even with that understanding, many men make fatal mistakes that ruin everything. When men start to notice a woman's body language and emotional cues, they often make a few typical mistakes that wipe out all the progress. The first mistake is too much insistence. Many think, if she doesn't respond to my signals right away, I should push harder. Don't be that guy who scares her with excessive activity. Insistence without measure is often seen as pressure, and pressure kills any desire to draw closer. The second mistake is ignoring your own boundaries. Sometimes a man tries to please, constantly changing himself, adapting to the woman, forgetting his own principles. That leads to losing self-value and inner discomfort. Women sense when a man loses himself, and that reduces their respect and interest. Be yourself, but respect both your own and her boundaries. The third mistake is misreading signals. For example, she may smile out of politeness, not interest, or touch her arm in a friendly gesture, not flirty. Don't rush to conclusions or rush actions. Learn to see the context and emotional dynamics, not just individual gestures. Also remember the importance of respecting personal space and the pace of the relationship. Don't rush things or force development. That can lead to rejection. Women value when a man is confident and respects her tempo. Finally, don't forget that body language is only part of communication. It's important to listen to her words, understand her emotions, and be genuine. Don't turn your relationships into a game with codes. Be real, and that is what is most attractive. Let's quickly recap. A woman's body language isn't just a set of gestures. It's the key to understanding her feelings and interest. Learn to read those signals carefully, how she looks, how she moves. It shapes how a relationship unfolds. Don't rush, respect her boundaries, and be sincere. Like Sergei in our story, who changed his approach and finally felt a real connection. Now, here's a small challenge for you. Over the next week, pay attention to the body language of the woman next to you, whether friend, co-worker, or partner. Notice small things, how she sits, where she looks, what emotions she expresses without words. Try to understand what she truly feels and how you can respond better to those signals. Write in the comments what new things you noticed or what conclusions you drew. Your experience can help other men better understand women and build deeper relationships. If you liked this video, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click the bell to get notified of new episodes. Share this video with friends who would also benefit from understanding body language. Remember, you're not just a viewer. You are a man who chooses to get better each day. Your confidence and respect for yourself and others are the foundation of real, strong relationships. See you in the next video.